second year. So today all I want to do is practice with our coordinate geometry questions. So I'm going to go through the solutions for the homework I gave you on Tuesday, and after that I'm going to upload some exam paper questions so you can see how this topic sometimes comes up in the junior cert. And you know, if you get stuck and you're not able to do things, try your best. Try to put down the information that you do know, and then I will have solutions up the next day. So sometimes it just takes practicing again and again, and you don't get it the first time, and that's okay, as we're learning it away. So you had page 285, questions 10, 11, and 12, and these were from the revision exercises. They could be quite challenging questions. We're told that k is the line 4x minus 3y plus 12 equal to 0, and we're also told that it intersects the y-axis at the point A, and the x-axis at the point A, and the y-axis at the point B. And so the first thing we're asked to do is to find those coordinates of A and B. So hopefully you remembered, but you might have forgotten, that the x-axis, all along the x-axis, y is equal to 0. So all I have to do is substitute 0 for y in my equation of the line and solve to find the x value there. So on the x-axis, the y value will be 0, and I'll have a number for the x value. So I get 4x, that's 0, plus 12 is equal to 0. 4x is equal to negative 12, and so x is equal to, divide across by 4, negative 3. So that gives me my x-axis coordinate there, my x-intercept it's sometimes called as well. Let's just write that down next to it. So it's also called the x-intercept, and this is also called the y-intercept. Okay, so that's the x-axis, and similarly we can find where it cuts the y-axis by subbing in x equal to 0. So instead of x, I have 0. Minus 3y plus 12 is equal to 0. That's 0. So negative 3y is equal to negative 12, and I divide across by a minus 3. So the sign as well, divide across by the sign as well. So y is equal to minus divided by a minus is plus, 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, so the x part of this coordinate is 0, and the y part is 4. Be careful there, that was a negative 3. So those are the points where my line cuts the x and y axis. Part B, we're then told that M is a line which passes through B. So M is a line through the point B, and it's perpendicular to K. And they want us to show M and K, they want us to show those two lines on a diagram. So we're going to have to draw these, and we know that my y-axis must go up as far as 4. I'm just going to do a small diagram here, we don't have to take up the whole page. My y-axis has to go up as far as 4, and my x-axis has to go over as far as minus 3. How do I know that? Because those are the two coordinates that I have. So I'm just going to use one box in all directions here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. And you don't even have to write in all the numbers. So for K, I've got A, which is minus 3, 0, and I have B, which is 0, 4. There's A and B, and I draw my line through those 2 points as accurately as I can. Okay, so there's the line K. I can write down its formula as well, but it's okay to just do this. Now, the second thing I was told is that M is a line that goes through B and is perpendicular to K. So we need to draw a perpendicular line here. Now, you can use your set square. Let's use my ruler even. And it must go through the point B, and it's perpendicular. Okay, so we don't know any other information, only that it's perpendicular to the line K. And it can be hard to accurately draw a perpendicular line. A set square in your geometry set, we want a 90-degree angle here, and this is the line M. So this is my line M. My line K and my line M, they're perpendicular to each other, and they both go through the point B, which is at 4 on the y-axis. So that's what we were asked to do for part B. Now, part C, they ask us to find the equation of that line. So we can probably fairly accurately find a couple of points on my line and do it that way, but let's do it using proper algebraic techniques in case we made a mistake doing our diagram. So to find the equation of a line, we want to use the formula y minus y1 equals m by x minus x1. And so we need a slope and we need a point. We have a point. The point that we have is B, which is 0, 4. So that's my x1, y1. And then I need a slope. Well, I can't write down the slope of m straight away. First of all, I have to write down the slope of k, my original line up here. So that's the x coefficient, 4, over the y coefficient, minus 3, and change the sign. So there's my slope of k, and that means the slope of m. I hate when they use m for lines because we use m for slopes as well. I turn it upside down. It's a perpendicular slope, and I change the sign. So there's my perpendicular slope. So filling into my formula here, my point, my x1, y1 is 0, 4, and my m is minus 3/4. So the formula for k, the equation of the line for m, is y minus y1, y minus 4 equals minus 3/4 m by x minus x1 by 0. And our shortcut is that we multiply the y side by the 4, and we keep the top number, the numerator, on the x side. So 4 times y minus 4 equals minus 3 bracket x. Where's the 0 gone? Well, 0 makes no difference, so I can just drop it. Multiply out my brackets. 4y minus 16 is equal to minus 3x, and bring everything to one side. We get 3x plus 4y minus 16 is equal to 0. So that's the answer to part C. That's the equation of the line M. So my equation of the line K was given to me, and I found the equation of the line M, which is perpendicular, and I've drawn a picture of it as well. Okay, so hopefully that made sense and you were all able to work through that. I'm going to go on to question 11. So in question 11, we were given a diagram. I'm just going to sketch it very quickly. So we had our y-axis coming up like this. We had our x-axis going across. I'm not even using my ruler. And they didn't have any numbers written in. What we did have was we had a line Q coming across like this. We had a line P like this, and we had a line S which went through their points of intersection like this, and we had a line R over here, and finally we had a line T. They're all different colors. line T coming across like this. Okay, so this is what the diagram looked like more or less, and we had a table to fill in, and they just asked if the slopes were negative, positive, 0, or undefined. So we have the lines P, Q, R, S, and T. So remember what the slope means. It's a measure of how steep a line is. And so my line P, it's sloping upwards. I'd be climbing up a hill if I was cycling a bike. So this will be a positive slope. The line Q, a flat line. I'm not going up, I'm not going down, so it has a slope of 0. My line R goes straight up and down. If I try to do rise over run here, I have no run, and be dividing by 0, it has an infinite slope or an undefined slope. So I can either write down infinity or a little dash like that to say we don't know what it is, but you might think that that's a minus sign, so I prefer to use our infinity symbol. And when you think about it, it makes sense. A line going straight up, how steep is that? That's infinitely steep. My line S then is sloping downwards, so it has a negative slope, and my line T is completely horizontal, so its slope is 0. Okay, this is one of those questions that when you see the solution, you probably go, ah, that's really easy. But maybe when you sat down to do it, it was hard to understand what they were asking you. So if you got a bit confused about that, that's okay. I hope you tried your best with it though. Okay, question 12 then. We're given 2 points, A, which is -1, -3, and B, which is 5, -7. And the first thing we're asked to do is to find C, the midpoint of AB. Okay, what do we do? First of all, write down your midpoint formula. So it's the average of the x values for the x coordinate and the average of the y values for the y coordinates. Both of my points are x and y. This is my first point, this is my second point. So the ones all in one. You never have like x1, x2 on the same point. That's the main mistake that people make when they're labeling these. So my midpoint then, C, is going to be -1 + 5 divided by 2. And -3 takes 7 divided by 2, which will give me 4 over 2 is 2, minus 10 over 2 is -5. So that was the answer to part A. The midpoint, or C, is 2 - 5. So I would hope that everyone in the class should be able to use the midpoint formula. Part B then, we're asked to find the slope of AB. Okay, we're not going to do this by a picture. We're going to use our slope formula. And the slope formula is that it's the difference between the y values, y2 minus y1, divided by the difference between the x values. So the y values are always on top. Hopefully you know that formula by now. I have these labelled already. So I have -7 take away a negative gives me plus. And here I've got 5 take away a negative gives me plus. So be careful with your signs here with questions like this. Giving me -4 over 6, which simplifies to -2/3. And you would be expected to simplify that to a fraction in its simplest form. There's the slope. And part C, we want the equation of the line through C, which is perpendicular to AB. Okay, so first of all, we write down the perpendicular slope, and that will be, turn it upside down and change the sign. And it goes through the point C, 2 - 5. So we're using our equation of the line formula. The line P that we're asked for is going to be given by y minus y1 equal to m by x minus x1, where now this is x1, y1. I can't go back and use A. They said it goes through C, not through A. And my slope, my m value, is the perpendicular slope. So I fill into this formula, y minus y1 equals m by x minus x1. Remember again, when you take away a negative, it becomes positive. I multiply the y side by 2, and I multiply the x side by 3, giving me 2y plus 10 equal to 3x minus 6. Bring everything to one side, minus 3x plus 2y plus 10 plus 6 equal to 0. Tidy that up, and then I need to change the signs. Okay, would I give you full marks if you didn't change the signs? It depends on how difficult the rest of the question is, to be honest. That's what it comes down to. So P, the line that I was asked to find the equation of, is 3x minus 2y minus 16 equal to 0. And that's the full answer of part C. Of course, you might have skipped some steps there, and I hope you would be at this point. And finally, part D, we're asked for the coordinates of where P, the line P, intersects the y-axis. Oh, I've got to be careful there. Now, we'll notice I didn't answer the question. They said, write my equation in the form y equals mx plus c. So I didn't do that. It's not in the format that they asked for. I could go all the way back here actually and do it from here. Maybe I'll do that. If I'd read the question in the first place, I was just going with the default. So from this line, 2y plus 10 equals 3x minus 6. Rather than moving the x's over here, I'm going to move everything else. So 2y is equal to 3x minus 6 minus 10. 2y is equal to 3x minus 16. Now, I'm not quite finished. I have 2y instead of y, so the very last step I need to do here is divide across by 2 to get y on its own. And I get y equals 3 over 2 times x, and I must divide this by 2 as well, minus 8. So this is actually the answer in the format that they wanted. Y equals mx plus c. We did a little bit of that before, rearranging the line, if we have it in this format, rearranging it to get y on its own. That division step here does tend to confuse people a bit. We're going to be doing a bit more algebra after this, and you'll see that done again. Now, however, once I've done this, it makes it really easy to answer part D, because they asked for the coordinates of where it intersects the y-axis, and that is at 0, minus 8. Y equals minus 8, and of course x is equal to 0, coming from the constant term in my equation of the line. Okay, so hopefully everybody was able to do most, if not all of that. If there's a part of it that you still don't understand, please do let me know, okay? Please don't hesitate to ask questions. Yeah. Okay, thank you.